Hi everyone, I'm Elaine from English Made Easy. If you need help with your English language and literature lessons so that you can perform better in your tests and exams, then you are in the right place. Do subscribe so that you get regular updates when I post new content. In today's lesson, we will revise Art is for Everyone with lots of oral questions. Yes, I will give you the answers too, and I do have a written test for you to do at the end of the lesson. Let's begin. I will start by giving you the answers to the written test that you did on Tales of Young Gandhi. You can correct it and give yourselves marks. See how you performed in that. Let's begin. Alright, so are you ready for the questions? But first, let's correct the questions that you did last time. Answer the following questions with reference to the context. This was what was given to you. Isn't he there to prevent us from copying? And the first question, which is A, was who was Gandhi talking about? This he, who is he? Now, if you got the answer right, then you can give yourself 1 mark. Gandhi was talking about Mr. Giles. And please see how it's written capital M, full stop after R because it's the short form of the word Mr. Giles has a capital G, full stop at the end of a sentence. This is B. Where was Gandhi when he said these words? These words. Where was he? And if you get the answer right, give yourselves 1 mark. Gandhi was in the examination hall doing his high school examination. I hope you got it right. This is C. What was one of the words that Gandhi could not spell correctly? 1 mark. Remember? Gandhi could not spell all 5 words. One of them was kettle. And you should spell it right. Kettle. See how you put it in single inverted commas and don't forget the full stop. Then you have these questions as well. Answer the following questions briefly. When Gandhi was in primary school, why did he bury his head in a book? When Gandhi was in primary school, he buried his head in a book because he was shy. Why did Gandhi avoid talking to his schoolmates? And your answer should be Gandhi avoided talking to his schoolmates because he was shy and didn't want them to laugh at him. This is C. Why did Gandhi refer to his request to leave school early as earnest? What does earnest mean? Earnest means sincere. Gandhi calls his request to leave school early earnest because he was not making excuses. He wanted to tend to his sick father. And this is D. What do you think Mr. Giles thought of Gandhi? Your answer? Mr. Giles must have thought that Gandhi was foolish not to take his help and do well in the examination. You also have these questions. Choose the right option. 1 mark for each of them. Okay? So, what's right? Monia Mahatma or Duns was a nickname given to Gandhi by his family. The answer is Monia. What about the second one? Geometry, Persian, or Sanskrit was the language of Gandhi's religion. What was it? Sanskrit. The third, Gandhi's happiness, shyness, or merit haunted him on the playground. Shyness. Gandhi once had to pay a fine of 1 or 2 biscuits, annas, or rupees. Annas. Well, I do hope you did well in the test, and if you haven't, you still have a chance to do well. You can do the test again after you revise the entire lesson again. Alright, now I'll go through the oral questions and answers from Artists for Everyone, starting with this. So, what was the name of the island where Margaret lived? The island was called Medibens. Why did Margaret come home from school with tears in her eyes like that? Margaret came home from school with tears in her eyes because she had drawn a picture of Tippity Witchett's house and a boy had made fun of it. Why did Margaret and her mother go to Tippity Witchett's house? Margaret and her mother went to Tippity Witchett's house because Her mother said that she should show Tippity Widget her drawing and see what Tippity thought of it. How did Margaret and her mother go to Tippity Widget's house? Margaret and her mother went to Tippity Widget's house on their bicycles. What did Tippity Widget think of Margaret's drawing? Tippity Widget thought that Margaret's drawing was good. What happened when Tippity, Margaret, and Margaret's mother held hands and Tippity waved her magic wand in the air? When Tippity, Margaret, and Margaret's mother held hands and Tippity waved her magic wand in the air, they all disappeared from Tippity's house and appeared near some fishing boats. Who did they meet near these fishing boats? They met Uncle Dot near the fishing boats. What was Uncle Dot doing? Uncle Dot was sitting on a little bench and drawing a picture of two fishermen working on their boat. Be careful, it's not boats, it's boat, one boat. Was Tippity related to Uncle Dot? No, Tippity was not related to Uncle Dot. Uncle Dot was Tippity's friend. What did Uncle Dot think of Margaret's drawing? Uncle Dot liked Margaret's drawing, and he said that he liked the way that she had shown all the flowers in Tippity's garden and the cheerful sun in the sky. What did Uncle Dot invite them all to do? Uncle Dot invited them all to draw and paint with him. What did Uncle Dot say he had a lot of? Uncle Dot said he had a lot of art supplies. Okay, let's pretend that that's Margaret's mother, and Margaret's mother is looking at her and saying, "No, no, no, that boy is talking rubbish in your school. Nonsense. Your drawing is actually very nice." And so they took their bicycles and they rode off to Tippity Widget's house. And that's Tippity Widget waving her magic wand in the air. She's a witch, but a good witch. And now they've reached the fishing boat where the fishermen are working on their boat, and that's Uncle Dot sitting there on the bench and he's drawing a picture. Well, he looks like he's on the phone, but you can imagine that he's drawing a picture. Okay? And now they're going to start drawing and painting. Some more questions for you. Who did not want to draw? Margaret's mother did not want to draw. Did Margaret's mother end up drawing? Yes, Margaret's mother did draw. What did Margaret choose to draw? Margaret chose markers to draw. What did her mother choose to draw? Her mother chose bits of colored chalks. Why? Because that was something she liked to use when she was a child. What were the sounds that the artists heard when they were busy with their art? The artists heard the sounds of seagulls overhead and the creaks and thuds of the boats rocking on gentle waves. What did the artists smell while they worked? The artists smelled ropes, nets, fish, and the sea while they worked. Did the artists have a nice time? Yes, the artists had a splendid time. What made the artists stop their work and end for the day? When the artists smelt food being cooked in nearby houses, they got hungry and so they stopped. What did they do before they left the place? They tacked their art onto an old board and stepped back to see what the others had done. Did everyone draw a different scene? Yes, everyone's art was different, even though they had included the same things in their drawing. What did each one's drawing have? Each one had drawn the boats, fishermen, sea, sky, and sun. 5 things. Did the artists have fun that day? Yes, the artists had a lot of fun that day. And now let's continue with the written test. Okay, are you ready? This time it's 20 marks. Ready? I hope you have a notebook and a pen with you. The first question is fill in the blanks. There are 6 of them and you have 6 marks, 1 mark each. Tippity Witchet was a dash. Easy one, I'm sure. Margaret lived on an island called Dash painted lovely watercolor paintings. The artist heard the creaks and thuds of the dash rocking on gentle waves. The artist tacked their art onto an old. The story is written by. You must always learn the names of the writers. All right, so let me see if you got the answers right. What's the first one? Tippity Witchet was a witch. Margaret lived on an island called Medibems. Dash painted lovely watercolor paintings. Who was that? Uncle Dot. The artist heard the creaks and thuds of the dash rocking on gentle waves. What was rocking on the waves? Boats. The artist stacked their art onto an old board. The story is written by Jerry Ginrick. Jerry Ginrick. Learn how to spell his name too. And then I have another question for you. It says, answer the following questions with reference to the context. And this time, this is the context. Well, this is nice. So that's part of the text. And now you have questions based on that. Like I told you earlier, the answers will not be in this part of the text, but they're all related to it. Who said these words and to whom? Who said, well, this is nice? Who said that and to whom? Do you know the answer? I'll tell you. Uncle Dot said these words to Margaret. What does this refer to? What does he mean when he says this? What is he talking about? This refers to Margaret's drawing. Where was the speaker? Who's the speaker? Uncle Dot. Where was Uncle Dot at this time? Uncle Dot was near some fishing boats doing his art or doing his drawing. What was the speaker doing? The speaker, or now you know who he is, so you can say Uncle Dot. Uncle Dot was drawing a picture of two fishermen working on their boat, one boat, remember. One last question. Answer the following questions. It's 10 marks this time. Why did Margaret's mother not want to draw? Margaret's mother did not want to draw because she thought she was not good at it. Why did Margaret's mother declare that they should show the drawing to Tippity Witchet? Margaret's mother declared that they should show the drawing to Tippity Witchet because Margaret did not believe her mother when her mother told her that her drawing was good. They decided to get another opinion by showing it to Tippity Witchet. How long did it take Tippity Witchet, Margaret, and Margaret's mother to reach near some fishing boats? They reached there instantly. The word in the book is in the time it takes to wink your eye. That means this fast, 1 second or less than a second. Why? Because she was a witch, obviously. Why did Margaret's mother choose bits of colored chalks to draw? Margaret's mother chose bits of colored chalks to draw because that is what she was used to. And she loved to use that as a child. Your last question for today. Name 4 things that the artist could smell when they were working. And let's see if you can remember all 4 things. What could they smell? You have to remember all things like this because if this was your test or your exam and you're asked to write 4 things, you would probably have half a mark for each of the things. Now, if you don't remember all 4 of them and you remember only 2, then you will get 2 marks out of 4 or 1 mark out of 2. You will lose marks. So you need to remember everything. So, what were the 4 things? Let's see if you remember them. Four things that the artists could smell when they were working were ropes, nets, fish, and the sea. Ropes, nets, fish, and the sea. I hope you did this test well. Did you? If today's lesson was useful to you, please don't leave without hitting that like button and share it with your friends if you can think of anyone who might need help with this lesson. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe and you'll see me soon. Until then, cheerio.